Hey everyone, welcome to another recipe of the month. Today we're making another Bavin family nostalgic classic chicken and rice casserole. Super nostalgic when you're sick or a lot of times for a birthday or something. This is like number one.
It is.
Comfort food.
Yep.
And again, it's super easy to make, dump everything.
Love it.
Very minimal dishes, very minimal effort, quick meal. You can make it beforehand.
Yep, freeze it.
Freeze it, freeze it
All
really
that good
well.
stuff.
So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so first step is, what do we do?
We're gonna actually have like 3 to 4 cups of white rice cooked. I like to use already cooked, ready and steamed. And you're just gonna put some in a mixing dish here. And then in the meantime, Megan, you can help me out by cutting up an onion because you need to saute 1 chopped onion in a skillet with some butter. And I usually add a fair amount of butter, around I guess 1/4 cup of butter. And then you're essentially just mixing all of these ingredients together in one bowl. I like using parboiled rice, which is kind of an interesting name.
They sell it at H-E-B in like most grocery stores.
Exactly. You can have jasmine rice, you can have regular long grain rice, you have lots of different types of rice. I like the parboiled because it tends to not clump together. Is this parboiled rice?
No. Well, it's also sitting there for a bit too, so it makes it more sticky. Okay.
Parboiled kind of keeps the granulation of the, that doesn't granulate. It doesn't kind of condense together into like clumps. It kind of keeps its own granule, I guess, little grain separated. So you need approximately 3 to 4 cups of rice. Depends on how many people you're wanting to feed. This is one of, when you have birthday dinner requests, this is usually the dish for that.
Yeah, it's kind of like nostalgic.
I don't know why. Lawrence doesn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty phenomenal. This is what I grew up eating as well.
Yeah. I think it's just like nostalgic casserole, but not like those gross casseroles. Sometimes you go to a potluck and someone made a casserole and you don't even know what it is. It just smells weird.
Right.
It's not one of
those. And this does not have broccoli in it. Now, I have seen chicken and rice casserole with broccoli, and you'd probably want to pre-cook the broccoli just a little bit if you added some to that.
Yeah.
My kids were not a fan of broccoli, so it would never became part of this dish.
Yeah.
So we have the rice that's cooked here. Megan is working on chopping up the onion and sauteing that in butter. I'm gonna add 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, Campbell's. If I can get it out of here. You may need a spoon.
Here we go.
It's not happy.
Right there.
So 1 can of cream of mushroom soup.
That's great. I need to figure out how to like make that from scratch.
Exactly.
I don't know, I like trying to figure out how to make things from scratch.
I do too.
On my own.
Be awesome. And then you need 1 can of cream of chicken. So 1 and 1.
Easy peasy.
And then I always like to add a little bit more pepper and salt to this. That's really your preference. It typically has quite a bit of salt already based off of the soup cans and stuff like that, but I do like to add a little bit more pepper. I would say about a teaspoon or so, and then maybe half a teaspoon of salt. We'll mix that in there.
Perfect.
And then we're gonna get the onion cooked in the butter. We don't have to use a whole stick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said...
Probably half of that, which would
Okay.
be about, I think, closer to 1/4 cup of butter. There you go. That's probably good. No worries. So you're gonna mix that together.
There we go. It's all good. It's fine.
It's all fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. All right.
Oh, also, we preheated the oven at 375. You want to do that while you're mixing all this other stuff up so it's ready to go when
This
you're
is
done.
a true casserole. It's also great if you want to pre-make this ahead of time. This is what I often give and bring to people that are maybe home from the hospital.
Like a meal train.
Yeah, it's just a great, easy, kind of across the board. Pretty much everybody likes rice, cheese, and chicken.
Yeah, it's got some butter in there.
All the good stuff. Also, what we'll add is rotisserie chicken. I already kind of went ahead and pre-cut up into chunks. And then what you'll do is you'll add that. So I always get a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. I go ahead and debone it, get all the meat that's cooked off of the chicken. And then I like to save the bones and put it in a pot and make some stock. So that's a great repurposing of a rotisserie chicken. And then I always like to add, like, whether it's rosemary, salt and pepper, celery, garlic, whatever you want into your water for some stock. So this is the rotisserie chicken.
This is the whole chicken.
The whole chicken, yeah. If you don't have a whole chicken, and let's just say you have like maybe 2 chicken breasts that are cooked, great, that's awesome too.
Oh my gosh. Go.
There we go. We'll add the onions to saute in the butter. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get our dish and add some olive oil to grease it to kind of help facilitate that.
Make sure it doesn't stick.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and while you're sauteing the onion, we're going to
Grease that.
Yep.
That's the worst when you bake something
And you forget.
and you pull it out and then it's just stuck on the whole thing and it's just a mess. I hate that. It's so sad.
So you can grease it with any type of oil, butter, just so that it,
Make sure it comes out.
yep, that's the goal. All right, so we're gonna incorporate chicken, the soups, the rice, then we'll add the onion with a lot of the yummy butter, which adds a great flavor. And then we're going to grate up some cheese.
Just some yellow cheddar cheese.
Yep, or you can have Monterey Jack cheese. White cheese is also great as well. This is my handy dandy cheese grater. I love this thing. IKEA, by the way.
I got one of those crank ones, so you could just put it in there and you crank it and it just shreds it in like 2 seconds.
I need one of those.
Yeah, Amazon.
Amazon.
Super easy. Because I kind of stopped buying the pre-shredded cheese and I'll just buy blocks and then just spend one day and shred it.
Why do we not get pre-shredded cheese?
It has the
Preservative wood shavings in there to keep it not to clump.
yeah, that is true.
Not good for you.
Which is probably fine to eat. It's probably safe, but I don't like that. And it tastes better when you do it yourself like this.
Great freshly grated versus the pre-packaged because it does have a powdered coating of wood shavings per se.
Yep. Plus,
keep
depending on what you're trying to cook, like if you're trying to make queso or like even something like this, it doesn't melt the same. It stays kind of not together, won't be homogeneous.
Right.
So you like the freshly grated
Yeah.
is just a little better.
It'll just always taste a lot better,
Yeah.
if possible.
Yeah. Okay.
So with this recipe, you're gonna add a little bit of your grated cheese inside, and then you need to reserve most of it for outside to
So I
sprinkle on
think
top.
the recipe card says 3 cups total, put 2 inside and save 1 for topping.
I made a change.
Oh.
It's actually 1 cup inside,
Okay.
2 on top.
Okay,
Because you want it extra cheesy on top.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so once the onions are now sauteed and completed, you'll add that to the bowl with your soups, your chicken, your rice, your cheese, your little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
And all that good yummy butter in there is really great to incorporate. And then here's our homemade broth that we're gonna add to it. We're gonna
Just a little bit of broth.
what you wanna do is add a little bit at a time, because really what we're looking for is a consistency. I know that's kind of hard to say, but I'll show you guys what I mean by it. Is you want to be able to see a little bit of liquid, because if you think about it, you're going to be putting it in a baking dish and cooking it. And so some of that liquid is actually going to dissipate and come out of the casserole, and you don't want a dry chicken and rice casserole. That's no fun. You could always add, just extra peppers or jalapenos if you want to spice it up a little bit. We always like it very traditional, and sometimes how we eat it is we have maybe some homemade salsa. We might put a couple tablespoons on top. That's how Lawrence likes to eat it, to add a little bit of spice after it's cooked. And you could do that individually. So if you kind of see, I can kind of see a little bit of the liquid in it down at the bottom, which is good.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to probably use pretty much all of this. The goal is you don't want to make it super soupy, because then it's going to be really runny.
Yep.
But you don't want to make it dry. So it is kind of a little bit of a trick.
Yeah, but you can still, if you, hang on, let me see. You take this and push it down, you can kind of see some of the liquid on the edges.
Correct.
Like that?
Right here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what you want. you want to be able to see a little bit of the liquid because it is going to dissipate, and you want it to kind of be smooth when you stir it.
Okay.
So if you can kind of see a little bit of the liquid kind of coming up here, that means you have enough and it's not dry. So then we're going to go ahead and dump it in the casserole. Mix them all in there. Everything's incorporated. If you have extra, no problem. Just fill it up as much as you can.
I got a smaller baking dish. Yep. I can put a little bit in.
Yeah.
I have a little tiny one.
Perfect. And then what you're gonna do is just top it with your cheese.
The rest of the cheese.
Yeah, so it'll be about 2 cups approximately, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more, but we love topping it with a lot of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it super yummy.
Let me get the foil.
We'll put the lid on it. And then what we always have, what I love about, this is why I kind of put this in this Corningware, is it comes with a glass lid. So you don't have your foil sticking on top of your cheese and then you're lifting up the foil and the cheese is stuck to your foil. I hate that. Now your cheese is off your casserole. The great thing about a Corningware or any other dish that has like a dome lid is that it is not going to stick, which is great. So we'll put it in the oven for approximately 30 minutes or so, and then we're gonna take off the lid for the last 15 minutes. So total cooking time is around 45 minutes on about 375. Ooh,
Ta-da!
yummy. Nice and crispy on top too.
Yep.
Super good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Got a plate here. Let's maybe let it cool down for a hot minute. It's really hot.
It's really hot.
Here we go.
All right, so we took it out of the oven and it looks like it's ready to eat. I'm gonna serve up a piece.
Anytime you're cutting something out of a casserole, it's always that first piece that's like awkward to get out.
Yeah, this kind of falls apart, so it's more like...
Yeah, I didn't have like a good spoon. My other little thing that was better suited for this broke, so
yeah.
I'm just gonna... Yeah,
Sure.
just like that.
A normal serving spoon probably would be fine too.
Yeah,
There we go. All right.
that works.
Super hot. It's not sticking inside the Corningware pan, which
love
is
that.
ideal.
Also makes it easier to clean.
It's very easy to clean. And then adding some fresh salsa to the top of it is good.
That's good.
You can also add maybe sour cream. You can add all sorts of things. So y'all can
jazz it up.
let it. I think it tastes personally phenomenal the way it is.
Yep.
All right, give it a shot. Nice chicken and cheese and rice and seasoning.
Oh,
Onion.
See?
Super hot.
It's really good. The rice is not too mushy. It's totally fine.
You're right. It was good.
See?
Good job. It's delicious.
okay.
You're going to enjoy this one.
Yeah.
Please let us know if you try it. We'd love to get your thoughts on it.
Yes, and as always, the recipe link, if you want to get the paper recipes of the month mailed to you in your actual physical mailbox, not an email, you're not going to get a bunch of spam emails, the physical, in the mail, old style recipe card. There's a link to put your information in there to register to get those. We'll see you next time.